Episode 4 is here.
All righty, welcome back, guys. Episode 4 of the Modern Warrior podcast. Happy New Year to everyone. We're still in the new year, a couple weeks in. And one of the biggest things that people do is resolutions.
Yep.
Why don't resolutions work, Carter?
I think there's a multitude of reasons why resolutions don't work.
A multitude. I like that word.
Fucking shit ton of reasons.
Yeah.
Why your resolutions don't work.
Right.
A big one, I think, is people set up a big resolution that they want to stop doing.
Okay.
Right? Let's say I want to stop drinking this year. That's
Okay.
a very big thing and a hard thing for someone to do that has been drinking for 20 years.
Right.
Right. It's like this probably isn't the first New Year's he's told himself, I'm going to stop drinking.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's this big idea in his head, but he knows that's like the one thing that would just erase all of his problems. So I don't blame it. It's like that's the biggest one.
Right.
But we were talking a little bit earlier. If we can replace taking something away, like a resolution where you stop doing something, and we could start by adding in, that alone is a great thing to start with, but specifically a small thing that you're going to do month by month by month by month.
Right.
So let's say it's the guy drinking. Month 1, he says, I want to drink a gallon of water every day.
Okay.
Sounds small. Sounds like how would that help him at all? But the thing is, psychologically, if he starts doing that week by week, day by day, and like each week he can check it off, 7 days this week I hit a gallon of water. That's building up his confidence.
Right.
So like if he can just start doing those small things week by week, whatever it is, he's building up that confidence to eventually hit that point where he is confident in himself that he could actually stop drinking,
Right.
right? Because at the beginning, it's like he doesn't even really believe himself that he's going to stop drinking. It's just kind of this thing he's telling himself.
Right.
And we were talking earlier, I mean, it's just it's the little voice in your head, you know, that you're battling constantly.
Right.
And it's specifically with drinking, you know how big that voice could be.
Right.
With something that alters your state of being.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the daily small habits, if we can start with month 1, drink a gallon of water. Month 2, go on a walk at night. Month 3, start hitting my protein goal.
Yeah.
Right? Like small things, they really do add up and they create this powerful feeling in you when you get them done.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and it's a people don't realize how even just the negative connotation of I'm taking something away from my life whenever they make a resolution. It's something. It sounds negative. I'm taking away. Although it's a good thing that they're doing it, just hearing it is already negative. But now if I'm going to add something to my life, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Now it's starting like you're adding positivity to it. So it's like,
Right.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I'm going to go for that walk. That already in their mindset is a positive. And like you said, those small wins, once they start adding up and it turns into, I'm going to go sign up at the gym. I'm going to start doing this. In turn, he's probably already drinking less without even realizing it because each step is progressing little by little. And then eventually, after, let's say 8 months, he actually has accumulated 8 wins, which is 8 months, however many days
How many
it
days
is.
that is? 200 plus wins.
Right, that's
whatever it
200
is.
plus wins. And now he says, I'm going to quit drinking. Now he has that confidence in himself to actually do this thing, but it doesn't need to be a resolution. It's just something when he finally has that confidence in himself, that willpower, that strength to have over that voice in his head, that like now he can do something else with his time besides drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking care of his body now.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head. It's like that point where you have enough willpower, right? It's like, dude, you just don't have enough willpower over yourself yet,
Right.
You know, and that's when we talk self-mastery. To tell the people, this whole month will be about self-mastery,
Right.
personal development, just being better in some way. Once you like really get to that point where you feel like you have this confidence about yourself, you've been through these hard things, you've done them, you've checked the boxes, you feel powerful.
Right.
There's not much like things in the world that like you don't think you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's easy for us because we've been in the gym for a while. Like we've been on this road for a long time of just like trying to be better.
Right.
In some way. But like what percentage of the population has just like never really started that journey? and is kind of just like floating through life, you know?
Well,
And-
it's even if you think about it, like how many people in the gym do you see year after year, but they look the exact same, or even maybe taking steps backwards.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, the gym is a habit, but other things in their life are not good habits.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's to the point where they've created so many bad habits that's even bleeding into their good habits. To where like you see them in the gym and they're on their phone more than they were exercising.
Yep.
Or they're not pushing themselves. They're not actually
hungover.
trying to, or they're hungover. Yeah.
In the gym.
You know, and so it's like, yes, you're trying to do something, but when 9 of your choices are bad throughout the day and you have one good one, it's like, well, the bad's going to outweigh the good. At some point, you have to start adding in these other good things in to start eventually eliminating the negatives.
Yeah. And what are some of those? I mean, let's chat about it. It's like, what are like if you had to put, 3 to 4 of the most powerful habits someone could do, right? It doesn't mean you have to start with all of them, but like that would give them the best bang for their buck. I would argue one's got to be exercise.
Okay.
Obviously, the
Right.
studies are unanimous. Mental
Right.
health, physical health, lowered anxiety, lower depression, better just heart health in general, with the diseases.
Your confidence
everything like
goes
that. Confidence.
Yeah.
Right? So working out, if you can start with that, that's
Okay.
great. Mental, I would say reading some kind of book.
Okay.
Education, podcast, whatever it is. Like this thing needs to stay sharp too, right?
Absolutely.
Even though I think it all starts with the physical body, this has to be sharp as well. Because if that's not sharp, then it's gonna be really hard to, take control of your life.
Yeah.
What are some other ones? We got physical, we got mental.
One for me is just being, having gratitude.
Yep.
Whether that's journaling it, writing it down, expressing it, texting somebody every day that you appreciate them and what they do for your life. I know for me, like that's one that I've had to really use, just because it's something I didn't take for granted, but I wouldn't allow myself to enjoy certain things in my life. Like I wouldn't allow myself to actually be happy. But when I stopped focusing on things that I've lost and negatives from my life and appreciating what I do still have and things that I can still do, things started changing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny because it's actually, there's the Valhalla trainings that we do where we come together, we do things that one makes us get out of our comfort zone. Two is something that's going to teach us how to work better with customers, clientele. You were the person saying you were going to hold me accountable to allowing myself to be happy for these things.
Right.
Right. And like now I just had a birthday on Saturday and I didn't want to celebrate it because I've lost 3 different people this last year. And it's like, they were all younger than me. Why do I get another birthday? So I was upset about it. Like I was frustrated. My girlfriend was like, hey, like, let's go do this, let's do that. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go work all day.
Yeah.
And then when I get off, we're going to go to the gym.
Right.
And then we're going to call it a night. Like I didn't want to do anything. Right. But it's funny because about halfway through the day, she called me out on it. And then it reminded me of you. And you were saying I needed to stop doing that. And I was like, wow, there's so many things I can actually still be grateful for and appreciate in my life rather than being mad about like things that aren't,
Right.
enjoying the things that are.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I committed to myself. I mean, it's been a couple days, but like appreciating those things. Right. And now like even it's only been, like I said, a few days, but I feel lighter. I feel better. Like
Right.
there's other things that, I was just telling you, I proposed on Monday.
Yeah.
Right. And like,
Congrats, by the way.
thank you. That was one of those things that like I felt, my friends that have passed early when they didn't get to experience that, I didn't feel like I was ever going to be able to actually enjoy it because I was like, birthdays, weddings, kids, all those things. I was
They
like,
would bring up the memories of.
yeah. And I'm like, they never got to have them.
Yeah.
They never got to do that stuff. So I didn't find it fair that I got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So even things when like promotions at work, I didn't I wouldn't get excited about it.
Yep.
And so some people take that wrong. They're like, why is he not happy about these things? And it's like, no, it's just, I didn't think it was fair.
Right.
But it's like, there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason. There's a purpose. I'm in this spot. I'm in these positions to do these things. So I have to actually appreciate those and appreciate the people that I actually can help.
Right.
Now.
The people that are still here around you, showing gratitude towards them, showing
Right.
gratitude towards yourself. It's a powerful tool, man.
Yeah. So that's
And starting your day with it is good too, man.
Yeah.
Because like you wake up, you've been, sleep for 8-9 hours, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like wake up in the morning kind of groggy and like you're thinking of all the things that you have to do throughout the day and fuck, I got to deal with this guy and
Right.
blah, blah, blah. This is going to be hard. I got to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, starting your day with like, I'm thankful. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm alive. I'm healthy. Like I get the opportunity today.
Right.
I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know what I'm going to run into, but I'm going to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to start my day with a mental shift of appreciation
Right.
for just life in general
Yeah.
or a person. And that's powerful too, is sending a text to a person.
Right.
Dude, I'm thankful for that time when you helped me, blah, 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 blah. And that person gets that text and they're like, that makes their morning. So like you realize that you have the power to make someone else's morning first thing.
Right.
And like that just puts you in such a good mood because you just helped someone already the first minute of waking up.
Right.
And yeah, it just starts the day really powerful, man.
Yeah.
That's good. To add on that, I'll add a fourth one, giving a compliment to someone.
Oh, that's
Touched
huge.
on it the other week.
Yeah, that one's huge.
But dude, just like genuinely giving a compliment to someone. If you're at the store, if you're at the gym, I would say if you're into the fitness scene, like at the gym, just like kind of makes sense because like it's a
Right.
very for some people, especially beginning of the year, it's kind of intimidating being
Yeah.
in there and like imagine if you just gave a compliment to someone like, hey dude, I really like your shoes, or like, dude, you're super strong. Like, how long have you been lifting for?
Right.
And they just like feel good, dude. Because like you'd feel good.
Yeah.
I'd feel good.
Yeah.
Give me compliments all day, dude. I'll take it. I'll take it. Boost my tank.
Right.
I can do that for someone else.
Right.
It's great.
And it's the point where we are now probably the guys who are going to be a little bit farther in the gym. So 90%, if not higher, of the people you compliment are actually looking at you.
yeah.
'Cause I remember, when I was first starting in the gym, there's guys who I could tell had been in there for a minute, and if they go up and compliment me on something,
Oh my God.
dude,
Orgasm.
I feel like I'm Superman, right? I didn't fill out my shirts, didn't fill out my shorts, nothing. But
Yeah.
this guy said I look big, so I was like, yeah, man, like I'm gonna come back tomorrow.
Right.
Maybe he'll compliment me again.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm gonna see him in passing by. He's like, "What's up, bro?" I'm like, "Oh, we're
are
friends
we
now.
friends?
We're cool now, dude."
Yeah.
I might get his name and like see what he's doing later.
Right.
I'm gonna hang out with him.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So to wrap it up, we got just 4 strong habits, right?
Yeah.
Working out, just some kind of activity every day, 30, 45 minutes. Maybe you start with 20.
Yeah.
Right? That's still good. Nutrition, hitting your protein goal, making sure that you're feeding your body what it needs.
Right.
Reading, some kind of like education,
Yeah.
something that's just keeping your brain sharp. You're always learning something, right? Keeps you in that state of progressing.
Right.
And then gratitude, daily gratitude, making sure that you start your day in a positive outlook, thinking of all the things that you're appreciative for or someone.
Right.
And then number 5, compliment.
Yeah.
Give a compliment, man. Make someone else's day.
Right.
That's great.
And I think, like you said, for the gratitude one, starting your day in like I see all over social media, and people like start to think it's cliche, but it's I get to go to work instead of I have to go to work. I
Right.
get to go to the gym instead of I want to, or I have to go to the gym.
The rephrasing.
Yeah. Now it's a privilege that I get to go work out.
Yep.
Because realistically, there's probably somebody who's in a wheelchair who can't do certain things now that you get to go do.
Yep.
If you just think about that really quickly, and then now that's where the mind change for me is, instead of when I'm appreciating the things I do have, is because I still get to do these things.
Yeah.
And
Last year, my biggest phrase that I had for myself, I'm glad you hit on it. For those who can't, I can. For those who won't, I will.
yeah.
And I would say
hell yeah.
that to myself all the time when things got hard or I didn't feel like going or
Yeah.
doing something. For those who can't, right, who aren't physically able to, or something is actually preventing them from doing something.
Right.
I have a healthy body. I can.
Right.
And for those who won't, for those who do have the healthy body but choose not to, I will.
Yeah.
And that's what separates me
Yeah.
from the rest. And
Hell yeah.
I think if I could repeat that to myself every day and that just like fueled me, you know?
That's awesome.
And
I
that's
like
just
that
powerful,
one.
dude.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, just to hit on, we were talking earlier about obviously like that bitch voice, right? About that like thing. It's a real thing. It's not just this thing that you hear on social media, like kill the bitch voice, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Right.
stop being a pussy.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone has the voice in them.
Right.
Right? It's like me, you. I'm not perfect at it. You're not perfect at it. It
Right.
consumes you. It consumes me. It consumes David Goggins. It consumes Andy Frisella.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, all these people you look up to, they still have this bitch voice in them, right? It's the little voice in your head where you're like, dude, I don't want to work out today. Bed is comfy. You know, just stay in bed for an extra 30 minutes, right? Don't give that compliment to that someone. He might think you're weird.
Right.
Like, it's just that little thing that we get in our head that just like combats us
Right.
every day. And I think going back to the habits on how building or using strong habits to suffocate that voice to at least make it not as loud or not as controlling over you.
Right.
Once you start to stack up these habits daily, I told myself I was going to do this, I did it. I told myself I was going to do this, I did it. Month, over time.
Yeah.
That voice gets way less loud.
Right.
You have more control over your own life, you know? And I was reading a book last year, one of the most powerful books I read, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
So, God, it gives me goosebumps, bro. It's so good. Basically, the whole gist of the book is he's having an interview with the devil, whether it was like, he remembered it as being so vivid as if it was in person, but it could have been a dream, whatever it was. And the whole time they're going back and forth. And I listened to it on Audible. So it's like two separate voices talking to each other
okay.
the whole time. It's really good. But the devil gets control of you by getting you to drift, right? Not having a definitive purpose
Okay.
where you're kind of just drifting. You know, you're drifting through life. Like, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do tomorrow?
Okay.
And he uses little tactics to like control you, right? Like drinking, smoking, at a young age, getting you to go through the school system and not have like your own willpower, right? Like being deceived by people and certain things. Like he just gets you to be in a state of control.
Yeah.
So now that bitch voice that I hear in my head, it's not even me anymore. I know that that's Satan. I know that that's the devil or the bad force, right?
Right.
That wants to consume me and keep me at a low state, right?
Okay.
And every day it's me versus him,
Yeah.
right? If I'm on mile 2, I'm starting to run now.
Yeah.
I'm on mile 2. I told myself I was going to do 2.5 miles. Get to 2.5, and that voice is like, dude, you're good. You did it. But I know that I have more in me.
Right.
Right? And like, I kind of want to go more. But like, that voice is like, dude, we're good here.
You relax. Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that voice. I'm in control today.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to win today. The devil doesn't win today. And I'm strong. I'm
Yeah.
strong when I get past that voice every day, bro. And it feels good, dude.
Right.
It feels good. And that's going to be a driving force for this year for me.
Hell yeah.
Is I'm
I
going
love
to use that. And it's just like the little things. Maybe it's not something as big as, you know, running a half marathon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's I'm closing late at night and I see a piece of trash on the floor and I'm like, that'd be good. Like, just leave it. Like, someone else will get it. Devil,
Yeah.
right? It's those little things, man. If I can stack up and I can suffocate that voice day after day and be like, nah, you don't win today.
Yeah.
I'm strong. I'm strong like that. And in the opposite, you give into that voice week after week after week, you're so defeated, dude.
Right.
And that's where I think like that guy that, you know, he's trying to stop drinking this year. How many fucking days has he gone by where he just gave into the, just have a sip. Just have a
Right.
sip at night. It's been a long day. You're stressed out. Have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
For 365 days plus.
Yeah.
Dude, how hard is it for him to be like that 366 day? Nah, I don't want it.
Now all of a sudden he's just gonna say no. Right.
Impossible, bro. Impossible. And I
Yeah.
think that's such a big point, you know? You have to have it.
Right. And I think the biggest thing too is to make sure that people understand we are not saying we have this figured out. Like where it doesn't exist in our heads anymore. It's there. Like you were saying earlier, Andy Frisella, David Goggins.
Replace any like tough guy on Instagram.
Any person that you find inspiration from, they deal with it too. We deal with it. Myself, like when in bodybuilding preps, that's when I have it the most controlled. Because I know what I'm trying to get done.
Why do you have it the most controlled at that time? Think about it.
Just because you have a goal, you have a purpose.
You have a strong goal.
Right.
Right. And every day you're working towards that thing.
Exactly.
Right. So a definitive purpose. That's number one.
Right. Because then I notice in my like, we were just going through like a health phase right now. I didn't really have like a goal, but like get healthy. And I also noticed that voice was louder
Way louder.
in like the mornings. So like, you don't need to go do fasted cardio. Like for what?
Yes,
You're not doing a show for like 9 months. You don't need to do anything. Or like if I have a meal left to eat, it's like, nah, you're good. It's fine. Or I get off of work, I'm tired, and it's like, you could do another rest day today.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, dude.
You're
Like,
in off season.
yeah, it's like it doesn't matter right now. But being able to realize, still know there is a bigger picture at the end, it may not be a very short-term goal, but having a long-term goal
Yes.
is why it's important. Because yeah, those little wins will start to add up.
Right.
Because the people who are the best in any profession, sport, whatever it is, they know what the long-term vision is, and they do the little things day in and day out.
day.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's being able to know those little wins every day are going to add up to something. Like little things add up to big things.
Yep.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
You know, if you let a bunch of little negatives add up, now you're 10 years behind on life and you're pissed off about it, you're angry, or you do all the things right and now you're ahead,
Yeah.
right? And you're actually going to achieve your goals.
100%. It's like anyone that is 40, 50 plus, whatever, has a drinking problem, has, some holes in their life. They didn't just like wake up one day and they're like, oh, this shit, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
It was day by day, one thing each day that just like set them back,
Right.
And over time, now they're dealing with this huge problem.
Right.
So like that is just the power of habits, whether good or negative.
Right.
Right. So don't think if I'm talking to if you're watching this right now and you're this single mom or you got kids and you're just trying to like start this new thing in your life, right?
Yeah.
Don't think that small little thing, like just going for a walk at night, 20 minutes a day, is small.
Right.
Because you do that for a year, I promise. You do that for a month, I promise you, it'll lead to this whole new life that you never even thought was possible.
Right.
And that's the true power right there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love it, dude. I think we hit some good things in there.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
really do.
There's some big good takeaways from that one for
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt. And we'll keep this whole thing on personal development, self-mastery going as we
Okay.
get into this new year. And it's cool. I feel like we do these podcasts, weekly.
Yeah.
And it's just like I've been getting these like ideas that have been thrown to me throughout the week that it's like that's what I'm going to talk about.
Right.
That's what like the people need to hear,
Yeah.
And I think it's just those good voices coming in, it's that good karma giving me what I need to give to the audience
Right.
for the week. So
Yeah, and
we're
it's for me, it's like seeing things that even like I'm going through, and it's like there's no way I'm the only person,
no.
And if I could hear someone talk about it in a realistic way,
Yep.
because I can watch anybody on Instagram scream and shout at me, and I'm like, yeah,
For the second. Yeah.
but then it's like, do these guys actually go through this though?
Yeah.
They've never told me.
Right.
But now when someone actually sits down and says, no, everyone does it, but
too, bro.
it's the 0.1% that do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
That's why those guys got there.
Yeah.
And so just making sure like that's clear to people.
100%.
You know?
We're just normal dudes, bro.
Yeah.
We're going through it. We're young in our 20s, figuring it out.
Barely.
But we've learned a lot. And everything that we learn, we're going to give back to our people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because we want to create this, obviously being a modern warrior, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a modern day warrior is someone who decides to take control of their life, right?
100%.
Through a world that wants you to be comfortable and wants you to take the easy route, we're deciding to be the modern day warrior and the person that leads by example.
100%.
That's it.
All righty,
So
man.
peace to all my modern warriors out there.
All righty, guys. That's the end of today's episode. We'll see you guys next week for episode 5.